Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Donovan Farmer, and I will be speaking to you on why the phrase "under God" should not be taken out of the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance reads as follows: I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, the Pledge of Allegiance signifies exactly what the title says. We as a nation are pledging our allegiance to the United States of America. From a historical standpoint, the original colonies came from Europe to escape religious persecution, among other things, and to eventually pursue things like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Founding Fathers believed in God, and this value was one of the base values for our country. Some people believe that the phrase "under God" improperly endorses religion. Our Founding Fathers' intent was not to try and force religion on future generations of U.S. citizens, especially after narrowly escaping religious persecution themselves. The Pledge of Allegiance does not force a religious belief on anyone. It is simply a confirmation of your allegiance to the United States of America. If you do not believe in God, or you believe in another higher power, you can still be a loyal and faithful citizen to the United States of America. Now, this nation is considered the melting pot. We're considered the melting pot because we accept all races and religions. We are one of, if not the most, religiously diverse country in the world. With all the different religions in this country, most people believe that the phrase "under God" is okay to keep in the pledge. According to a public opinion poll done by the First Amendment Center at Vanderbilt University, 73%, give or take 3.1%, of respondents said that the pledge, including the phrase "under God," is primarily a statement related to American political tradition. 73%. 3 out of 4 people believe that phrase is related to tradition and not endorse religion. They also agree that the phrase is just a tradition. Our leader, Barack Obama, our 44th President of the United States of America, made the following statements during his keynote address at a conference on June 28th. It is doubtful that children reciting the Pledge of Allegiance feel oppressed or brainwashed as a consequence of muttering the phrase "under God." Mr. Obama respects the culture of the United States of America, and is willing to keep the pledge, not because he believes it doesn't infringe on religious rights. It's because it is a tradition, and not based on Congress establishing or endorsing religion on anyone. On a side note, if anyone has seen a United States dollar bill, you will see on it says "In God We Trust." This was added to our nation 50 years ago. It is printed every day on our currency, and is engraved on some of the most remarkable pieces of artwork in Washington, D.C. and around the country. Some examples of where "In God We Trust" is exhibited and exposed are on the Georgia state flag, the Florida state flag, and the Florida state seal and our nation's currency. God is also printed multiple times in the Declaration of Independence. Should we rewrite the original document that gave us freedom from Great Britain? Because it says God, should we change a document that is 354 years old? If so, let's go ahead and rewrite history. Let's take every patriotic document, poem, and song that mentions God and rewrite them. Can we no longer sing "God Bless America"? Let's recall every single piece of currency and change the writing that's been on it for 50 plus years. But not only people like me that support the phrase "under God" being in the pledge have proof that the phrase "under God" should stay in the pledge. People who do not support the phrase have proof that it should not be taken out. Patrick S. O'Donnell, a writer, wrote an article called "Under God or Under the Constitution." Keep in mind, Mr. O'Donnell is against keeping the phrase "under God" in the Pledge of Allegiance. In his article, he writes, "Polls find an overwhelming majority of Americans are content with the reference to God in the Pledge of Allegiance. But so what? So what? If someone who is against the phrase admits that not only most Americans care, an overwhelming majority are content with the phrase, why do we need to change it? Others claim that just because you're part of a majority doesn't mean you're morally right. This statement could hold water if the debate was split 51%, 49%, but it's not. As stated earlier, more than 2/3 are content with the pledge as is. And when it comes to the United States, we're a democracy, and majority mainly rules, usually with only minimal consideration of what the minority thinks. So, If an overwhelming majority are content with the phrase "under God" being part of the Pledge of Allegiance, then there's no need to change it. You still might ask, why is religion not separated from state, like it says in the United States Constitution? God and the belief in God are core values on which this nation was built and founded. Let's not change history. Let's not change 400 years of values. Let's not rewrite America. The statement "under God" should not be removed from the United States Pledge of Allegiance. Not then, not now, and not ever.
All right.